Welcome to the Didi and Littell Show. Advice, thoughts, and stories from a married couple on cybersecurity, technology, and life in general. Now here are your hosts, Didi and Littell.
Hello, and welcome to the Didi and Littell Show, coming to you from home.
Yes.
Didi, what's up?
All is well. As you can see, I'm in my quarter zip, which means that football season is moving forward. Because the quarter zip is the sign of Peyton and Eli when they do the Monday night show, and we're recording Monday night.
Didi,
So,
you
or
should take
Eli.
a background photo of fall on a porch, because now it looks as if it's winter on a porch, while this is your background. You need to change it to fit the season.
No, of course not. Because what is fall? What does fall mean?
Winter is coming.
Exactly. So football, winter, where is this?
Oh, good.
So I want to start with our sports update. Dave, you know how you know that the world is back in peace, order, and the way it's supposed to be?
When the Patriots are accused of cheating?
Yes. This is why we record with you. That's why you're my main man. The world is back in order. Canada loses in sports. For those who don't know, we're recording right after the Blue Jays lost in the World Series.
Right.
And Mookie, of course, won. So it basically F.U. John Henry. And of course, the Patriots win by cheating. This is like awesome.
This one seems pretty BS, but then I said that about all the other ones and they made a huge deal out of it. So they're accused of distracting the count by clapping, but the video doesn't show anybody clapping. So
it is showing somebody clapping.
Oh, it is?
Right now. It is. But, at least what the guy is saying is he's clapping to get the corner to stand where it's supposed to stand.
Okay.
And Carlton Davis was out of position. I do believe that they're cheating, but it's okay. As Randy Moss said, first you stole the signals. Then there was a deflate gate. Could you have a gate for me?
Right. He missed the gates. Yeah.
Missed the gate. There was a gate before him. There was a gate after him. He wanted the gate as well.
He also didn't win any titles with us. So you know what they say, if you ain't cheating, you ain't winning. So you ain't trying. That's what it is. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Exactly. So, and I was, the Bruins win against Carolina. That was a legit win. That was a legit win against a legit team.
Finally.
And the Celtics. Oh my God.
Didi, the only thing I can say for Bruins is that I went to a game last week and I didn't jinx it. That's a plus.
First time.
First time I arrived to a game and didn't make them lose.
You also left in the middle. So, and they did the biggest winning after you left. So still.
No, it was
showed up
when I left.
Yes. She went to the Islanders game. So it started with basically 2 goals and 2 shots.
Yeah. I went after they got into a 4-2. So they were winning when I left. But awesome. Let's go and talk business.
Yes.
We were talking about upgrading a Peloton running tread, replacing it with a new tread. And we kind of realized we're stuck and cannot do it. Tell the story.
Yes. So, I was reading on this thing called the internet, and the internet is always right? And
especially AI. You ask it a question and it tells you the truth. Absolutely.
No, but this one I went to Reddit, like 3 or 4 of Peloton owners, and everybody claimed that if you can upgrade the tread plus because of the recall, you can call support, and they will put you in a program, and they will upgrade your Peloton treads to the new one. You'll just need to add the price, which is something like $6,000. The full price, 6,000. They'll give you the price of your old one. It comes out like that. I give them a call and they say, "Look, you can go sell your own device on our service after you sold your
On
device.
marketplace. They have a marketplace for used device.
You sell your marketplace, you get a coupon that you sold a tread, and you buy a tread, and you get another coupon based on that. And then you can call us and we will use the coupon plus that and we'll help you carry." And it was this whole convoluted complex. And I said, what's the actual fuck?
Like you want to do whatever you do with the car when you get into, the
Yes.
the shop.
When I go buy cars, I go into the shop.
You bring your old car and you get a new model.
When you leave with a new one, I don't want to
And
deal
you
with
get the whole package. They fool you around. They tell you all kinds of stuff. You would pay a ton.
tell you rim protection.
Yeah, you
they
sign a bunch of paperwork. But the beauty of this is by the end of this, you get rid of your car and you get a new one. I mean, you can
Yes.
go the other way, but we want the simplicity of going, upgrading, getting a new one, signing, paying, blah, blah, hello,
Exactly.
goodbye.
I want to roll in with one car, roll out with another car, and that's it. We've done this successfully now with multiple cars. This is what my experience that I want. Also, jokes aside, I want no downtime on my trading. I want somebody to come in, take the very big machine that is the tread, which is a 500-pound machine, take that thing out and put a new thing in. And I don't want to deal with this. So the no downtime is also an important thing, which is something that you see right now with Pixel phones, with Apple phones. You come in, you give one phone, you get one phone back. Sometimes they're even smarter. They send you a new phone, and they say, "Well, we'll charge you in a month from now, but you can do whatever you want for as long as you want." And send your
After you kind of already set yourself on the new device, delete the information from your old device, put it in the pack, and ship it back to us, get the rebate.
exactly, which is awesome.
When it works, it didn't work for you with the last Pixel. You sent it back.
They still didn't charge me. So it came out awesome.
Sure.
Now I have a Pixel in the box that I need to set up, and I just am not getting to because unfortunately I'm working.
So it made us think that this is exactly what's happening in our industry with big software purchases. Somebody wants to go switch from one vendor to another vendor. They don't want downtime. They need services. They have already some cost of configuration going into think about SIM, think about endpoint detection, think about firewall setup, all those fundamental security tools, enterprise tools. What do you do if you want to shift and lift into something new? The price of it is basically time, downtime, risk of not having something set correctly, risk of losing information, and then, will the new thing work? So
I'll give you another thing. What do you do with stuff like Cisco firewalls? What do you do with Cisco networking gear? One of the things that I've learned in Cisco is that your best friend in the world, it's something called value-added resellers, which is another name, which in the colloquial is called a VAR, value-added reseller. And this is the person or the service or the company that, as Vital was talking about this, makes your business tick.
So when you're in a startup, a lot of times we kind of disregard the VARs channel. We think about him as, okay, they will provide us with lead gen at best. We think of them of a necessary evil. We need to get through them to be able to procure a business in large organization, because like nobody, like a big Coca-Cola will not put a tiny startup from Tel Aviv on, the big purchasing list. They only have a bunch of really well-known companies that are willing to do business with. So you need to go through the whole accountings and then the purchasing process with a VAR, with a channel partner. But I think we don't think about this big value add. We just say they're not value add, but because we don't understand how hard it is for a big enterprise to change, to implement a solution, to go and, make sure things are deployed across the board, things are tuned correctly. And this is why every large organization, every Fortune 5,000, we work with a bunch of those that are, as you said, they make the things work. They will take the software, they will tweak it, they will help implement it, because the people in-house in IT and security don't have the capacity to go and make sure all these things are operative.
Yes. And I'll start with giving my Peloton. What would have been my fantasy on the Peloton thing? My fantasy on the Peloton thing would have been, and this is if Peloton would have thought, like, they need to understand, are they Apple? That they own everything? The whole experience end to end?
They started with that. Having retail, they started with that.
Which failed. Because you need to have market share. Now they need to think of how Microsoft does this. And Microsoft goes with partners. Microsoft tells, they have this concept idea. They also have all these partners. So they can work on somebody else's machine. They can work on somebody else's stuff. But also they have the last mile taken care of by partners. So think of, if I'm Peloton, what I would have done would have gone to Geeks Sporting Goods, to all those the gym equipment companies, to all those places that deal with that final mile. And most likely this would have actually helped their hotel business and a million other places, because a lot of those global chains, they know they have the people in that final mile to go and take your gear and fix it and replace it. They have an incentive to basically you coming into the store, transacting with you. They come in and pick your gear up. They can refurbish and put it in their showcase tomorrow morning as likely used, and mark up the sticker, and everything is awesome, especially for them, because they have the supply chain. Also, they would give me confidence as a buyer that this Peloton company clearly doesn't know what they're doing, because they had stores, the stores disappeared. Maybe tomorrow morning they'll decide to be a media company, because their real strength is being a media company. Their content is their strength. Maybe the thing that I would want to know is like, hey, if they go belly up, I'd like to come to the store and say, dear store, can you take this and give me a Woodway, or give me a Nordic track, or give me something else? If I as a buyer feel much better when I interact with the store, because this is my address for all my problems. And if they would have thought of this, they would have reduced how they deal with support, because the store now supports this. Now they only need to do basically support for support. They don't need to be the first line support. They can be the support for support, which reduces your cost significantly. If you know how to build through the VAR. Now, let me take it to how I would do this, with how I did this with some companies, and companies that have done this well. Like Okta does this very, very well. They had a company called Beyond ID, and they also work with GuidePoint and some of the others. They run an evaluation to come to an Okta customer and say, these are all your identity problems. Here are the tools that come from Okta that we can use to solve this. How about we sell you Okta, plus the list of services, plus training, plus migration, plus a quarterly evaluation. Here's the bundle that you get. So we will not only give you Okta product, we are solving your problem because you have a compliance problem, you have a regulation problem, you have an authentication problem, you have a deployment for an AI problem. We're going to solve it end to end for you. The product is part of the solution, but all our services are the other part of the solution. When we did orgs, we had basically an evaluation, a security assessment that we helped people run. And it made companies like GuidePoint very happy because they run the assessment. They have a list of findings, and now they go off and run the fixing, which the customer themselves doesn't have the skill set or the people to run. You make them happy. You make the customer happy. You reduce your cost of building things like support, like training. If you build high-level training components, they are going to take your slides, mark them as their own, put their own stuff in, but they'll customize this. This is for this team. This is for that team. You have a more abstract, all-in-all service, and then go that way. Does that make sense?
Yeah. To build on that, I think startup companies, start thinking about the VARs, the channel, way further down the road, instead of thinking about it from the get-go as a strategy, connecting with them, getting them. It's critical. The reason is you want to focus in what you are strong at, which is building software. Early stage startups should not focus on all the other side. As you said, the training of how to use your software, the enablement, the implementation, the support, all those. You need to have some level of your own support, of course, like technical support when your product has bugs and stuff like that. But basically, the VARs are already integrated and understand the customer business. That's the day in, day out. They take all software of the world and make it work in Fortune 1000, Fortune 5000, and even smaller. So whatever you're building, always have to be implemented in one way, shape, or form. The earlier you find your partners, you make them strategic part of your business. You incentivize them. They are part of you. They learn your product. The better you are. So I think this is companies that think channel first, VAR first, integration with, the ecosystem early are winners. That have been building an early moat that can help them grow and give them so much insight into the market earlier than others. So I definitely think it's something that, software founders, I find sometimes they joke and like say, who needs it? This is when we are at 10 million ARR at the beginning. Anyhow, it's founder-led growth. The channel wouldn't care about us. We're not going to have the funding to go do, a lunch and learn and golf tournament with GuidePoint. True. All of it is true. But still, getting that relationship, getting the right connections with them, getting the feedback, and being able to get them in deals makes a ton of a difference. So if you're a startup, this is where you need to think about from go-to-market, but also from actually getting customers to use the product.
So I'll give you the list of objections.
Yeah.
And my thoughts of the list of objections that I keep hearing. And here's my thing. Objection number one is you need to see the channel.
True. So always
Very true.
Close through. So my answer for that is people are being cheap and, oh, I got a deal that the VC brought me in. It's a friend. Oh, I have, CISO advisory. I'm getting a deal through them. And you're thinking, okay, I'm not going to cut a deal, give somebody part of that. I'm going to close direct with them. No. And, always ask, you're talking with the CISO, immediately ask, who are your VARs of choice? Who are you typically, which channel you typically procure through? And go and procure through them. Number one, even though you're the best friend of the CISO, you're not the best friend of the purchasing department in a big multinational. Believe me, you cannot handle them. And even if you outsource it to the legal department of Meitar in Tel Aviv or whatever, it is going to be a nightmare and will take you 3 times more if you do direct.
Actually, never outsource to a good legal department.
Yeah,
So
that's a way to red line and kill the deal.
Exactly.
Accept whatever you've been given as much as you can. And if possible, go through the channel and yes, write the check to them, whatever they're gonna, the chunk they're gonna eat into the deal. Because once they start seeing, oh, we're getting real revenue, we now closed $1 million of ARR with this startup. Let me look at it. This is growing. That's interesting. Now the million becomes 2 million. This is growing fast. I should start bring them my own business. I should start introduce them to others. So you have to feed the beast. So don't be stingy. Pay them. Yes, you need to work and get all your other lead sources to close through the channel. 100%.
So from my perspective, there's also another aspect. First, there's the element of COGS. They count VAR costs when you do the financials, counts as COGS. So this is a big, big win for you. Because if you can cause it as COGS, it doesn't offset your OPEX, which is important. Second, there's stuff that will show up in a VAR's contract that will basically make you realize, oh, fuck, I forgot this. Like, some places you have to do mandatory training. Some places you need a migration path. Some places you need support at offline hours. You need somebody to pick up the phone. You don't want to incur a lot of those things when you build your own business. They are okay because they already have the system. They will upcharge you for this. But again, don't be stingy. It's much cheaper for you to pay them than to build that service on your own.
And you get the logo and you get the deal. So that's the most important thing when you are early stage. Get the logo, get the deal. That matters.
Yeah, the other objection, which is also a valid one, is usually VARs have portfolio companies. So it means that if you are Port, they have Okta. They all represent Okta.
Sure.
So everything you train them will go to every one of your competitors.
That is always true. And, you know, we live in an age that ChatGPT will tell about you to everyone. So if you're not willing to put yourself out in the market, you're not ready to play. So if your concern is, oh, Okta will know now my pricing list and competitor X will now know how my demo looks like, grow up. Like, you're in the selling business. We're not in the business of secret agents here. You put a sell, you put your stuff out. It's stupid. Your secret sauce is potentially something in how you do things in your software, stuff you patented. It is not your pricing list, okay? So get over it.
Or your UI, even your UI or your manuals or your trading.
Are you hiding your UI for what? Like, what's unique about UI? It's a few buttons.
This concerns that, especially technical leaders, we don't want competitors to see our product.
Yeah. UI is a very cheap moat. If you think that that's your moat, I would not invest in you. It's not a lasting moat anyhow. And again, you know, there is this thing called the internet. People can take screenshots I'm sure they will, and they will share. So, like, get over it. You cannot keep things a secret. Keep the secret to the one thing that is really a secret sauce, right? The Coca-Cola, if they really have something secret in the recipe, awesome. I think it's not even true, but there is no secret sauce, seriously. So I always get to those things, but competition will see that's not that coming to your RSA booth and seeing your demo. Seriously. So you don't want to do business with the VARs because of that?
I'm just saying. The other thing is opacity of price hike. So this is something that has happened to us, that we give the price to them and they give a 3x uplift to the customer.
Right.
And you don't know about it.
Okay. Fair. That's part of the game. Be aware of it.
I actually say, be aware, try to understand if your deal gets stalled because of this. Try to understand what was the price that was given. By the way, your sales team might do the same thing to you without you knowing it.
You know, in the business of business, those things happen. I would recommend hiring experts that know how to deal with the channel, that knows those behaviors and can help consult with the right approach. Again, this is not the reason not to do business with them. It's more of a reason to think, what's your tactics working with them? So think about how you want to position your pricing list to begin with. Get some intel about what is typically the things and shticks that a certain player would put. And you know what? As I said, you're there for the winning deals. Eat the frog. You're the small fish in the pond. You need to deal with it. So again, to win the deal at the beginning, when you're small, just gonna go with it.
Yep. The other thing that is an important advantage is a lot of times founders will say, look, we lose the connection to the customer because the VARs will buffer some of those things. What I've learned is that MSPs and MSSPs and VARs a lot of times will actually give you much more honest feedback than a customer will. The customer sometimes...
They have more time. I would say this is nuanced, and it depends. And it depends on the customer, and it depends on the specific channel, partner, MSS, MDR. You know, in some cases, it is true that if you're selling through MSSPs, the customer typically don't want to talk with the tech company. And yes, you will probably not get feedback directly. So you may get the feedback from the MSSP, or MSSP is your customer, basically. You will not see the end customers. And it's a mobile. That's what it is. They typically serve mid-market, in which you have less people, and they just don't want to deal with it. They want to get the service. They trust the MSSP. The MSSP provides everything to them. And, you know, they deal with the software company. So if that's the case, just be aware. And this is what you're selling to. With the larger vaults, I feel like you get way more involved than with MSSPs, smaller ones. Just because those companies typically like to give feedback, and the VARs like to channel the feedback. So again, it really depends. It's true in some cases. Of course, like the best feedback you will get from very involved customers that are part of your customer advisory board, still doesn't mean that you will not procure through the channel. That's the reality.
My take on this is also build telemetry. One of the things that people don't build into the product, they don't build telemetry. You need to know who's logging into your product, when are they clicking, when are they doing other things, what are they doing inside the product, how much time they're spending there. You need to have a dashboard that you look at daily of who's logging in and what are they doing.
And
That's-
to be honest, I haven't seen any software organization in which even if the deal goes through a third party, and even when you have a third party doing support, implementation, whatever, that customer success, account management would still not schedule regular touch-ins with the customer to get direct feedback and stuff. So yeah, absolutely. Build it into your user interface. Make sure you get feedback from actual use, and also make sure you're active doing it. I don't think the VAR will tell you no unless it is the request of the customer. And if it is, just appreciate it and go with it.
The other thing about VAR helping you with customer success is more likely than not, the person in the VAR carries a quota. While your customer success might not be willing to push in features and adoption and value-added features, they will. So that is always an advantage for you.
Sure. Actually, you can play with it, that you're the one that give them added value on, better engagement, and let the VAR do the selling. That's even a better situation when you can play the nice guy, just giving feedback, just helping them with getting more from what they already have. And let the sales guys from the VAR push more spend on them.
Cool. Awesome. Anything else we want to talk about?
I think when you're hiring the first channel person, really think what your stage and what you're looking to achieve. Too often, I do see people trying to boil the ocean and go and sign up as many VARs as possible and go and saturate as much as possible. It's impossible to do. So find somebody that can effectively choose a handful of VARs that are good representation of your ideal customer and the territories you're selling in, and just sign agreements with them and focus on them. The reason is, going back to what I said at the beginning, you want to show them success. If you spread it too thin and go with 30, 40 players, none of them will see actual revenue from you. So you're not going to be as successful and meaningful for any of them. Instead, if you only have 3 full VARs that you signed originally with, and you focus your effort and you're trying to sell through them every deal that comes in very fast, when you're growing from $500,000 ARR to 1 million, to 5 million, to 10, to then 20, they will see their business grow, and that will be the point to start expanding your footprint with other players in the market. So don't bring somebody that will promise you, I'm going to sign up with 40 channel partners and we're going to go to all of them. That's too much. Actually, think small.
One more thing that I like is think local. Sometimes
Very much think local. Think local, and sometimes think industry. There are specific VARs that are, for example, very strong with oil and gas in Texas. So if it's if you are, for example, in the OT and you want to focus on oil and gas, go work with them. That's like going to be a big success. Same with manufacturing. Same with, if you're thinking federal and gov, there's a bunch of dedicated reseller to the government, and they will open you all the doors. That's critical. So yeah, really local and really industry based.
anything else?
No, that's for me, channel is the game.
Yes. And think of the value-added reseller, not much beyond the channel. Understand what is the value they add.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of the times, you do not have services, you do not have support, you do not have all the stuff that makes a product look like a complete package. Don't try to be Peloton, because you'll be stuck thinking that you're Apple, and in reality, I don't know, you're Jerry. If you don't know what Jerry is, Google that. Anyways, everybody, have a great rest of your day.
The Didi and Lital Show is a weekly podcast. Everyone, please rate and review us wherever you get your podcast. We're here. We're going to be here next week. If you want to be on the show, reach out to Didi or myself on LinkedIn. Until next time, goodbye.
Bye.